Happy Sunday, everybody. A special episode of the I-80 crossover. Mark Haynes in the house. Believe in Kings. How are you doing, brother? Great to see you.
Hey, I'm good as always. Always good to be on with you. And it's good in Sacramento. And it hasn't been good here in so long. But everybody's here excited about Darius A. Cuff Jr., who I think, if he hasn't yet, he arrives today. And his press conference will be tomorrow. So it's all good here. Beautiful day, sunny. It's not scorching hot.
Yeah.
I have no complaints on my end.
Bravo, brother. Always great to hear that. And I'd love to pick your brain on what you think about Yoxel Lendeborg, a.k.a. Yoxel Foley. Let me know if this makes sense to you. This is the new drop that I'm playing every time we bring up Yoxel. Do you understand why I do that?
I want to hear the explanation.
I'll get to it by asking you a few questions, so maybe you can figure it out on your own. Do you know what the theme song is that Peter Griffin there from Family Guy is dancing to?
I don't. I'm not off the top of my head, no.
Beverly Hills Cop theme song, right?
Okay.
And then another, and Yoxel Foley is the nickname until I hear something better. It ain't Axel Foley, it's Yaxel Foley, although it's pronounced Yoxel. Yoxel Foley. And every time we talk about him. So there you go. That's Yoxel Foley. I'm going to pick your brain on what you think about him as a new member of the Golden State Warriors. There's a player that became available today on the free agent market that I think it's not like a mind-blowing, blow you out of your socks type free agent, but I do think he would be a good fit for the Warriors as free agency is about to hit. We're going to hear who Mark thinks the Sacramento Kings should be pursuing. We'll address real fast while we're doing the I-80 crossover, a tweet, a social media post that desperate Warriors fans have been clinging to, picking up on, even though there is absolutely no verification, no validity to this rumor, unless, Mark, maybe you can clarify. And the rumor is Domantas Sabonis and or DeMar DeRozan possibly going to the Warriors. Is there a chance in hell of that happening? We'll ask the man who covers the Kings. We'll talk Kings. We'll talk Warriors. It's the I-80 crossover. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Powered by Sunrun. I love doing this read with you, Mark, because I feel like the Sacramento market has even more opportunity there. I know you said the weather is like super nice, but it ain't always nice. A lot of times it's hotter than shit. And air conditioning ain't cheap. Sunrun, they're there to save you on that. We're also powered by FanDuel, and this collaboration is called the I-80 crossover. Mark Haynes, people can follow you on all social media platforms at Mark Haynes NBA, correct?
Correct. Mark Haynes NBA. Anywhere you get on social media, you will find this
handsome mug. Hell yeah. Hell, your wife's a lucky lady, sir. And the crossover sports. Did I get that right, I hope?
No, you got me like crossover. The closers.
Shit, I'm sorry. My bad.
We're the crossover.
My bad. Closer Sports is the name of you. My bad. I apologize for that.
You're good.
That was a brain fart on a Sunday. The Closer Sports on YouTube. That's where Believe in Kings is featured. You've got all your exclusive interviews with huge big names out there. I'm trying to get Boogie Cousins on this on my side of things. I feel like he'd be good for a Kings show as well. What's your history with Boogie, real fast? Because it's not proven to be easy. He's not an easy booking, but I'm working on it. Any background that you have with Boogie Cousins, who we see sometimes on FanDuel's Run It Back program, a man who I want to pick his brain about playing for Steve Kerr. What's your Boogie Cousins experience? I know that's random to bring him up, but here we are.
Nah, nothing but good. I ain't got nothing but good things to say about Boogie. I've spent a little time with him during an interview that Chris had did with him some years ago, and Why were we in Oakland? He was in Oakland. We did it in Oakland. I don't know if it was like All Star. I don't know what it was, but
It could have been. All-Star Weekend was last year, right? So
yeah, it wasn't last. It was years ago. It was years
okay.
ago. I can't remember why he was there, or maybe it was a different city. But his team, Andrew, Jay, and all his guys, all good dudes or whatever. It was a good time hanging around him. When he was playing in Sacramento, I've been outside in nightclubs with him before, him and Dante
Really?
Green, Jason Thompson. Well, let me rephrase it. I can't say I was with him, but it's a big entourage, and I'm just in there mingling or whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Good enough. Good enough.
they were great hosts. Me and Dante Green was really cool, and he's still my guy now. But Boogie ain't been nothing but good to me.
I have no gripes with Boogie. I think he's a hilarious dude. I know he's been in the news a lot for sometimes wrong reasons. Most recently, playing in like a Puerto Rican professional league where he just started getting into it with fans sitting courtside. Comedy, absolute comedy.
Yeah.
I love Boogie, and I'm working on that. I'm trying to get him. Was Boogie in the club? Like, was he just sitting in one of the VIP suites chilling? Like, what's Boogie like at a club from your perspective, from your experience?
Yeah, he's chilling. He's chilling. Obviously, like he's so big, and like Sacramento has a bunch of small clubs or whatever, so it's not like he can really hide. So he's noticeable. If he goes to the bathroom, everybody's gonna see him, and he's the tallest person in the club or whatever, or the building. And but yeah, he was real. He was real chill. He was real chill.
I love it. Some folks in the chat as we start the show here. King Rozovanant. King, I don't know if Mark, if you have a better clue in terms of how you pronounce that, but the King has a simple request for you, Mark. Stay for the whole live show today, please. So that's his one request to you. Is your equipment charged?
It depends.
We won't go too long, so we can make sure
I'll do my best, King.
Yeah, we'll keep it a short and sweet show. Brevity will be the focus. So we make sure you're here till the end. AB Prep Boy in the chat bringing up Boogie, saying they remember everyone getting mad at Boogie Cousins for going to the Warriors in the 2018 offseason for $5.4 million in 2018. Nobody has offered him a bigger contract since then. Yeah, they're like, when we talk about players and what ifs in terms of massive contracts, and I love it. Rick Barry, the Hall of Famer, every time he joins me, he doesn't hesitate to bring up all the lack of luxury he experienced when he was playing. Players would have to sometimes wash their jerseys in the shower after a game. True story. That went on through the 80s. Players were sitting in coach. The money was nowhere near what it was like what it is like now. And Boogie Cousins did not play in the 70s. He played in the 2000s. He missed out on a monstrous contract just because of that brutal ACL tear. Cost the man, I'm guessing, $200+ million. Travesty. Yeah, just a bummer, but he still did okay, I think, but not $200 million. Okay.
Right.
It's a shame. Is LOL Cal like a term for Kings players, or is that just a misspelling? John Truma in our chat saying my favorite LOL cow, and I only think of cow because the cowbell is a prevalent feature at Kings games, or at least it was. I don't know if it still is, but
yeah.
Is that weird jargon that I'm missing out from?
Not that I know of. It would be new. It would be new to me. But
all right.
Yeah, cowbell, probably.
Who knows? Well, again, Mark Haynes available on all socials at Mark Haynes NBA. It's super easy. You can follow me, Cyrus Sotzes, on Threads and Instagram, at Dog Wild over on Twitter. It's at Surf Journalist. The program, Golden Days, on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. Some quick mentions of sponsors before we get into this thing. Sunrun first up. The link is right there, the QR code. It's also in the description under the Golden Days page, whether it's YouTube, whether it's a podcast. And the premise is super easy. We're trying to save you a shitload of money, not just money, a shitload of money. And when you consider that for the first 6 months of your partnership with Sunrun, it's absolutely free. Technically $1 a month. That's their promo for the next 6 months. And then after that, your monthly cost will still be far lower than what you are paying with electricity. PG&D or whoever that company is, they're ripping you off. Save money, not just in terms of what you're spending per month, but why don't you get some money in your pocket? Because if you sign up now, we got a promo, $500 in your pocket just by partnering. No upfront cost. No hard credit checks. It doesn't ding your credit either. Find a negative for doing this. The old days where there were some issues regarding like liens, regarding debts. What the industry has corrected itself. So you don't have to worry. Let's say like you put these panels on your house and you want to sell your home at some point. You no longer have to worry about outstanding balances, any of that bullshit. This is a smooth, seamless process. Again, the only reason to say no is if you're illogical, if you just don't make sense in life, because this will save you money. Again, the link right there, the QR code, also in the description on YouTube and our podcast page, Sunrun, Sacramento, folks. You'll be saving far more than us here in the Bay Area, largely because it's way hotter and AC costs money. Heat in the winter. Sacramento also gets cold as shit in the wintertime. That costs money. Save money. Put money in your pocket with Sunrun. Today's episode also brought to you by FanDuel, the official sports book of the Believe Network, which includes Golden Days, which includes Believe in Kings. And one peculiar line that I keep seeing here, Mark, when it comes to NBA lines here in the offseason is the favorite for Rookie of the Year. I don't know if this surprises you at all, but right now, if you want to bet on Rookie of the Year, I have two lines to throw at you here. One is, again, Rookie of the Year. Cam Boozer is the favorite. He has better odds for Rookie of the Year than Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsa, who are both tied for second at plus 400. Cam Boozer plus 240 to win Rookie of the Year. Darius Acuff, new Sacramento Kings player, fourth highest odds to win Rookie of the Year, plus 450. He has better odds than Caleb Wilson, who is plus 950. And rounding out your favorites for Rookie of the Year, Mikael Brown Jr. plus 1,500, Yoxel Lendeborg, a.k.a. Yoxel Foley. I warned you, folks. Yoxel is plus 2,000. Those are your top 7 for Rookie of the Year. Mark, does that surprise you at all? And what are your thoughts on Darius Acuff Jr. having the 4th highest odds this coming season for Rookie of the Year? You must love that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, I think I am surprised. I'm surprised that Cam Boozer is number 1. But when you look at it in the sense of like last year, before Cedric Coward got hurt, he was teetering between 1 and 2 or whatever. If he didn't get hurt, he might have been the Rookie of the Year. And maybe they're looking at him as being better than Cedric. And fun fact, Cedric is actually my cousin or whatever. But
we'll get back to that in a second. You can't just throw that in there and then move on. Cedric Coward, potential NBA superstar, is your blood relative. Fascinating. Continue on, sir.
Yeah, so maybe they're looking at that and they're seeing like, all right, maybe they feel Cam Boozer is the better player and he would be able to do more, which would essentially put him right there in that top. I think when you look at AJ DeBonsa or whatever, I'm kind of surprised. I'll say this. I'm kind of surprised that he's tied with Darren Peterson for number 2, being that you'll have Trae Young over there and Anthony Davis or whatever. That's definitely going to impact, his output to some degree. Not a lot. I'm sure the goal is to build around him, but it's definitely going to impact him some. Darren Peterson, I feel like he's in probably Darren Peterson and Darius Acuff. And I think they're in really, really good positions to win the Rookie of the Year. So if it was me, I think I have Darren Peterson number 1. And maybe Boozer 2. I would have Boozer tied with Acuff at 2. And then I would go AJ around there.
And the AJ being as low as he is, you think it's because of the team he's on and the fact that he's not going to be ball dominant like maybe some of these other players will be?
That's the only reason. Like
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with his game. But if I think the Wizards are, when you look at these teams, the Wizards are going to be one of the teams that are trying to win games. Like this is not a team where, like, I don't, unless obviously we don't know what the final roster is going to be. But with Anthony Davis there, Trae Young, I think they're trying to win or whatever. So and when it comes to y'all see it a lot in Golden State when it comes to, be a rookie being on a team that has some expectation. Now you're not allowed to mess up as much as you need to as a rookie. But in Utah, Peterson have plenty of opportunities to screw up, keep going, won't have to think about it. It's just green light. Same with Darius A. Cuff here. Same with Boozer to some degree.
It is interesting. One other a piece of gambling information that I wanted to share. The bookies have already released odds for who the favorites are to win divisions. There's a bunch of weird little funky odds here. But we'll focus on the Pacific Division because both the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors play in the NBA's Western Conference Pacific Division. And the odds right now, the favorites to win the Pacific Division this coming season. And side note, I feel like divisions, the only relevance they still have in today's discussions is gambling. I don't know what other meaning or worth or that divisions have in today's game. I don't understand why the in-season tournament that they hold in December, I don't understand why that is not organized by division to make these more relevant and more pertinent, but instead they figure out their own groups, even though they keep them all in the conference. Anyways, Pacific Division, your favorites, if you want to bet on that today, your favorite, I apologize, the Los Angeles Lakers have minus 130 odds to win the Pacific Division. The Clippers second at plus 390. The Phoenix Suns, who made a swing today, trading Grayson Allen and I believe Royce O'Neal, and there was an exchange of draft picks as well. They go to the Charlotte Hornets, and Phoenix gets Miles Bridges. We'll talk about that in just a second, but Phoenix third, plus 450. The Warriors fourth, best odds out of 5 teams in the Pacific Division, plus 490. I am shocked at this disparity in the odds, considering the Kings had a better record than the Warriors after the All-Star break just this past season. The Warriors plus 490 to win the Pacific Division, Mark. The Kings plus 25,000. Like talking differences here. So Lakers minus 130, Clippers plus 390, Suns plus 450, Warriors plus 490. It's like, okay, all right, little steps, right?
Yeah.
And the Kings plus 25,000. That's insane. Your thoughts?
Maybe that was a typo. Maybe somebody added an extra zero or something accidentally. 25.
I'm going to share the screen. Because you're right. I feel like I need to show this so that people can see the visual. I don't think my voice is enough. This is FanDuel's official sports book that anybody can go to. It's just sportsbook.fanduel.com. And right there, I don't know if you folks can see it, 2026-2027 NBA Pacific Division winner. There are the Warriors plus 490. And sorry, I can't zoom any further than this. Hope people can see this. And next up, the Sacramento Kings plus 25,000. What the hell do you make of that, dude? Like, is that just perception that people think the Kings are really that bad? This is insane.
Yeah.
I'm putting down $5 on that, right? I mean, for those odds.
Yeah, that's some really good odds right there.
Yes.
Place a bet on the Kings.
Yes.
And, maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's what they want. But I mean, I would say it's fair to have the Kings in last place, but with, like you said, that type of disparity is insane. Like you said,
it is,
especially when you consider, the Kings and Warriors record in that second half of the season. Phoenix, I think the top teams are the top teams, but I think it's just that's just such a large gap that is like
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. If this turns out to be true, then the Kings, they'll be looking at the number one pick next year.
I mean, that's some wild shit. Some odds also out for who's going to win the Western Conference, courtesy of Sportsbook. And again, these lines are based almost entirely on public perception, who they think or what they think the average median line is. That's what they're going for. Like what is going to represent balance in terms of equal bets placed on either side of the ledger. And so the Warriors, public perception wise, they've got Stephen Curry. They've got a lot of these analytics bozos here in the Bay Area. I don't need to remind folks of the toxicity that exists within Dub Nation. Just really nasty folks in there, and a lot of ignorance attached to that as well. And so, but they boost, the value of a team like the Warriors, and with a player like Stephen Curry on there. So the Warriors have plus 3,500 odds to win the West. In comparison, the Spurs and the Thunder are tied as favorites. They're plus 145. The Minnesota Timberwolves, maybe surprisingly, in lieu of adding LaMelo Ball, are second. Here, let me. I'll share my screen again so people can see these lines as well. And again, sorry I can't zoom any closer here. But Minnesota now has the third best odds in the West. The Warriors are currently seventh, plus 3,500, and then Sacramento not last. Shock. Well, yeah, they are last, tied for last.
Oh, okay.
They're not alone. They're not alone in last place in terms of the odds to win the West. Plus 25,000 again. See, I would bet that plus 25,000 for the Pacific Division, because who the hell knows, what's going to happen. I mean, why not just put $5 down and come away, in April like gangbuster if you somehow pull that off. But yeah, man, the bookies are hating on the Kings. Your thoughts?
They have no faith in the Kings.
No.
I don't. I can't say I blame them, but sheesh, I might have to invest my $5 in the Kings this year, and that stock is too good to pass up.
I agreed, and I've been telling people, like, when the over unders are presented for wins losses, and they're not going to do that until we get a better clue as to what these rosters are going to look like. Free agency will start on or around June 29th today. Oh, tomorrow. Today's the 28th. Jesus. So tomorrow is when free agency really starts kicking into high gear. And so soon after that, we're going to get the over-unders. And Mark, what I've been telling people is, depending on what the line is for the OU on wins for the Warriors, if that number is high enough, I might, and provided I gotta come up with maybe I'll get a crew together and we'll do like a big investment. But I want to bet so heavy on the Warriors under that to me is going to be a borderline lock. I have no idea what this team is doing. But if the over-under for the Warriors this coming season is above, let's say, like 43, I think I might have to make the drive to Nevada and put the house, like bet the house for the under. I just, because the bookies will almost always lean in favor of the Warriors as long as Stephen Curry's on that team. That's just my take. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but under on the Warriors, and the number's not even out yet. Just my take. How is first of all, I hope I didn't call him Colin Coward. John Truma, I don't know if you're Truma. I don't know in the chat. I don't know if you're joking or not, saying Colin Coward is not an NBA player. You're correct, obviously. I hope I didn't call him Colin. Mark, you just dropped a bit of a bombshell there. Cedric Coward, the forward for the Memphis Grizzlies. He's from the know. He's from Fresno, California. I know that's where you're from as well. Your cousins? Elaborate, sir, if you don't mind.
Yeah, cousins. We haven't met or whatever, but we're cousins from Fresno, California. His biological father is my cousin, and
so you're like second cousins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's close.
He's Fresno, California. He went to Central High School, played basketball there. And obviously, the rest of the story, going D2 to, playing at Washington, committing to Duke, going out of that commitment because he got into the lottery. And, found out during, that's when I found out during his like pre-draft workouts and stuff, and I started just looking into them. And I'm seeing, I knew he's from I knew he's from Fresno right away, and I seen his name, and then I'm like, hold on. I started looking, asking family and stuff. Yeah, and he's our cousin.
No shit. How awesome would it be, Mark, if you found him and you're like, Cedric, we've never met. I'm your cousin. I only need $1 million. I'm not asking for the world, man. I mean, your next contract's going to be 200 million, probably. Just a mil. I ain't asking for the world. We're family.
I think if I did that, he'll probably disown me that moment.
Probably,
so it'd be like we were cousins for a second, and then it was like, nah, I don't know that guy. Keep him away from me.
Are any of your family members working on the family reunion that has never been planned before, just to get Cedric in the mix, so then you can start subtly hitting him up? Hey, Cedric, man.
I'm sure somebody is. I'm sure somebody is, and if it happens, hopefully I can make it.
Cedric, I only got this much left of my mortgage. Come on, man. Just help a cousin. Help a cousin now, will you? Come on, now.
That's it.
Just
a
whatever.
Small million. You're on your way to making hundreds of hundreds.
Exactly. Cedric, I don't own my home. I'd like to own my home. We're family. Help a cousin out. Come on, man. You know what it's like to struggle. You get it. Help your cousin out.
I think I might have to just settle with a sit-down interview, I think.
Well, yeah, that probably would be settling, yeah. But, you're not asking for a handout. You're asking for just a small favor from family. Those aren't it ain't called a handout if it's family. Come on now. Cedric, help your cousin Mark out. Just buy him a house. We ain't asking for much. Come on now. Cedric's on a really cheap deal currently, right? Is he? Because he wasn't a
rookie deal.
Rookie deal, but a rookie deal. When was he picked? Hold on, I think I have this in front of me. Oh, 11.
He's in the lottery. I think 11 or something.
Oh, so he's already making some pretty good cash now.
Yeah, I think 11 or 12 maybe.
He ain't making like asking for a mill money yet. He's making like ask for 10 G's, 50 G's type money right now. But yeah, he's not doing bad. I mean, I think he's making like 5-6 million a year before taxes and all that shit.
Right around there, yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, because originally, he wasn't on the draft board at all. And after pre-draft workouts and things or whatever, when they found out like his measurements, I think he has a ridiculously long wingspan and he could shoot the ball. And then turns out, as we've seen, before the injuries, he could really, really play. So he jumped the draft boards like from bottom to the top to getting invited to the green room.
Well, Cedric Howard, I believe, was originally going to go to Duke.
Yep.
And then, but then his draft, and again, things have changed. Like before, you wouldn't be able to be committed to a school while simultaneously also being in the draft. Now you can do that. One of the many, evolutions of NCAA basketball and NIL and all that. So Cedric Howard was set to transfer from Washington State to Duke, but he's also in the draft, and he was going to pull out of the draft until his stock started to skyrocket. And then he was like, you know what, I'm going to stay. And he got picked number 11. That's incredible. Did your brother know him? Was this was this a surprise to all of you guys at once, or?
So we knew of him. Obviously, we're much older than him. We knew of him.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we didn't know so it wasn't like we had a relationship or anything. We've both been away from Fresno pretty much his entire life for the most part or whatever. So we were aware that our cousin had kids and things like that or whatever, but his progression on up or whatever, we had no idea. So it wasn't like we followed him all the way through the ranks. I wish I would have, but yeah, it wasn't like that. But found out I found out last summer. That I seen the name, and because at first I just knew it was a guy from Fresno, California, and then when I seen his name, and I'm like, oh, he has to be related to the cowards that I'm related to. So I started looking into that, and I'm like, wow, that's your son? I was like, that's crazy. So yeah.
That is crazy.
I had no idea.
The Cree in our chat saying you still couldn't even buy a house in the Bay Area with that salary. Look, we're not greedy here. I was never pretending that the request was for a home in the Bay. I was talking Sac, man. I'm talking, maybe Auburn. I don't even know if I think it would be greedy to ask for El Dorado Hills, right, or Folsom. Even that's too much.
Yeah.
I'm just talking for a little condo, somewhere in one of the remaining affordable areas of maybe even Stockton. Who knows? Maybe Tracy. I mean, beggars can't be choosers. No, hell no to the Bay. I mean, that's insane. No, of course not. Of course not. There's stories coming out, Mark, and this isn't hyperbole, of how Warriors G Leaguers, the two-way players more specifically, the Warriors have to house them, and there's nothing new there. Like the Warriors were doing this even when they were in Oakland. Like my uncle and his family live, or at least did. I think they moved out recently, but they lived in the same penthouse that Klay Thompson lived in, and this was the Warriors. They used to house them. The Warriors house these two-way players in San Francisco now, but there were stories coming out that they could not afford to pay for their own housing based on the two-way salaries and the G League salaries if the team didn't help out. It's insanity. That's the world we're in now, where professional basketball players cannot afford housing in San Francisco without the team's help. That's insanity. Yeah, that's reality too. It's crazy. And I agree with the Cree who's saying 10, 20 years, even Stockton's going to be unaffordable. It's unaffordable now. I'm just saying by Cedric Coward standards, hook a brother up, or a cousin in this case. Please. Anyways, enough joking. Let's talk Darius Acuff Jr., brother. Let's start with your team because that was just fantastic news. We had a live draft show on Golden Days, and believe me, your name came up a bunch because of what you've expressed previously, which is that's your dream target. That's the player who the Kings wanted. Darius Acuff Jr. himself expressed he'd love to be drafted by the Kings. And when the Brooklyn Nets selected Mikal Brown Jr. with the 6th pick, we all knew what was going to happen next. I imagine Kings fans are elated by this. Give us the reaction, sir, and congratulations on Darius Acuff Jr.
Yeah, no, this was the biggest reaction.
That was the reaction? Just losing him? His screen just went black. The timing of that was absolutely perfect. Very start of the show, friendly reminder, King Rosa Bennett made a simple request to Mark Haynes. Stay for the whole live show today, and did add an LOL because we don't take much seriously here outside of the actual product on the court. Mark, I don't even know if you can hear me. I saw something that indicated he was trying to come back. Well, while Mark tries to figure his shit out, apparently he's having technical difficulties. I'll keep an eye out on the green room to see if he comes back. Oh, he's back. He's back. What happened there? What was going on?
I can't hear. Let's see.
I was
I can't hear you right now. We got Chris Haynes to thank for that. He just called and kicked me out. But I'm gonna click out. I'm gonna get back in and we can finish it up.
Perfect. We'll see Mark Haynes in just a second. Who cares? I'll leave this crooked setup here. It is not symmetrical right now. There's an imbalance. See this little gap of white right there? I don't like that. That's not supposed to be there. But rather than move the camera, I'll just wait for Mark to come back, and then everything will be simpatico again. While we wait for Mark, I want to mention one thing here in regards to free agency. Some news, and again, it's highly unlikely there's going to be any player in the free agent market that moves the needle when it comes to the Warriors and free agency. I mentioned Rui Hachimura being my ideal free agent that's available. Weak market, right? There aren't a lot of big names out there, at least not names that the Warriors can afford, with the mid-level exception. The Warriors will have 2 slots to use to spend on free agents. One is the mid-level exception, which is good for something between $15 and $16 million. That amount has still not been fortified yet. And then they also will have the biannual exception, which is good for $5 to $6 million. You can use that every other year. That's why it's called biannual. And the Warriors have both of those to use at their discretion. And with the mid-level exception, to me, Rui Hachimura is probably the best you can do. Dean Wade is another name that I've brought up as someone who could be on a wish list as a guy who gives you some size, gives you shooting. Steve, maybe he earns the trust of Steve Kerr right off the bat and gets minutes. Tim Hardaway Jr. is another player that was on my wish list, but all indications seem to be that he's going to sign with the Miami Heat, who themselves will also, like a lot of teams in the NBA, are going to have that mid-level exception to use. But one name that got added to the mix with free agency set to start unofficially tomorrow. The window will open tomorrow for players, players/player agents and teams to begin negotiating and player agents. Again, when you see all these leaks coming out, it comes from agents. So you see a ton of news items dropping, sham bombs being laid left and right. It's because the agents happily express the good news to these reporters in regards to their clients. And so we find out before pen is on paper the following week, I believe July 6th. July 6th is when free agency is officially on, where contracts can be signed. And it looks like we got Mark Haynes back. Oh, we changed rooms.
Yeah, I got kicked out of where I was at. I was overstaying my welcome. We was talking
kicked out by a child or an adult?
Yeah, little bit of both.
You should have, next time your brother calls, just invite him on. Be like, dude, I'm doing
so I should have. I just text him and I'm like, right when I'm starting to talk, and it just boosts me off. I'm like, oh, great, that's figures. And he probably wants nothing. I'm sure.
Just to check in, just checking on a little bro.
But yeah, Darius Acuff Jr. That's where we were at.
Yes, sir. And just to finish up on the thought I was just talking about a free agency. Tomorrow is when it unofficially begins, but everything gets leaked this upcoming week. So it's not like anybody's keeping secrets. And then pen is on paper the following week, Monday, July 6th. I was bringing up the fact that most teams have mid-level exceptions they can use. The Miami Heat are reportedly likely going to sign Tim Hardaway Jr., a player that I feel the Warriors should target. He would, in my opinion, be a great fit, but that idea is about to be up in smoke because he's probably going to Miami. Rui Hachimura, again, is my dream target in this very weak free agent class. With the mid-level exception, which is going to be good for approximately 16 million. That amount still not set in stone because next year's salary cap has not been finalized yet. Dean Wade is another player that I've looked at, and I'm going to finish the thought with this. Today, Zaire Williams of the Brooklyn Nets is now going to be an unrestricted free agent because the Nets decided not to offer him the team option this year for $6 million and change. And all I'm going to say about Zaire Williams is this. Is he going to make your team drastically better? Hell no. I think we can come to a safe conclusion in terms of what Zaire Williams' ceiling is. But is he more durable than Kristaps Porzingis? Yes. Is he better defensively than Kristaps Porzingis? Yes. Is he likely cheaper than Kristaps Porzingis? Yes. Do I want Zaire Williams instead of Kristaps Porzingis? F yes. And that's my thought. That's my take, and I'll leave it there. Any thoughts on that before we shift gears back to the Kings' prized new toy, Darius Acuff Jr.?
Hey, big statements is what we're about, and that's what that was. That was a big one. But I won't argue with you.
Again, options are limited. There might be more names showing up. Like, for example, Jonathan Kuminga could be an unrestricted free agent. I don't think there's a chance in hell that he would go back to the Warriors, but that name added to the list is intriguing. We'll talk about that in a second. Actually, that's not a thought I want to end because I think Kuminga to the Kings is a very plausible scenario. If he's an unrestricted free agent, I think your team is 1,000% gunning for him. I hope that happens because I'd love for Kuminga to shove that ball down Steve Kerr's throat 4 times a year and prove how wrong he was in treating him the way he did. But let's first focus on Darius Acuff Jr. That was the thought you were about to express. Side note, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but you did black out. Impeccable timing. Like you literally were setting it up and then you just went bloop like black. So You're back. Darius
Yeah.
Acuff Jr., congrats to the Kings. Your thoughts, sir?
Yeah, that's like a great clip right there.
It was.
Like, you know what? First of all,
It was. It did.
but with Darius Acuff Jr., his press conference is tomorrow. So he'll be arriving. I'm sure if he's not here yet, he'll be arriving in Sacramento soon. But this was the first pick that I'm aware of, dating back to maybe De'Aaron Fox, and I wasn't around to know the reaction, but this is the first pick to get this type of reaction and response from the fans that it was like a huge thing. If they would have drafted Luka, it would have been that type of thing. This, as the picks you mentioned earlier, like when the Nets took Mikael Brown Jr., the Kings watch party at Golden One Center, like the building erupted. It sounded like a game. It was loud, and it was only maybe a couple of thousand people in attendance, but it was loud, and you like from day one, this was their guy. This was the guy that everybody in Sacramento wanted, and they got him. And this is the first time I believe that's happened. Like I said, maybe since De'Aaron Fox, maybe it could have been Boogie Cousins, but it's going to be a lot of pressure on Acuff to be, good to be successful here. But I don't think it's pressure in a negative way. It's more, maybe it's not pressure, it's support. The organization is going to be fully behind him. The fans are fully behind him. He's, like I said, he's the guy that I wanted the Kings to pick or whatever. So I'm happy. You don't have to worry about some random journalist writing crazy stories about him, saying he this, he that, But this is like a dream come true for the Sacramento Kings, and they haven't had this type of feeling in a long, long time. Even after the Beam team and everything, and the short success they had there or whatever, that was like a surprise. This was, we want Darius Acuff, and that we got Darius Acuff. So, and Nick Clifford, gave him his jersey number, so he's getting to wear his 5. And everybody's excited. I'm excited to see what happens here next. And obviously it's not like he's going to come here and turn everything around, but the Kings, I believe it could, but I think the Kings have gotten the guy that they can build around and re-steer the ship.
I think, and this is just me, I think Darius Acuff Jr. is a far more exciting a pick with a far higher ceiling than De'Aaron Fox, but that's just me. Because you brought up 2017, and I could be totally wrong on that, but it did make me look up, side note, the 2017 draft, just to give people some perspective. I want to read the top 10 to you. Yeah, because not every draft is good. The number 1 pick in 2017, do you remember who that was?
2017, that was, no, I don't actually. Who's the number 1 pick 2017?
I'll give you a hint. He was drafted, and then slowly people started to get worried because he was tinkering with his shot. And then we didn't even know why he was tinkering with his shot. There were rumors that maybe his elbow was hurt. Are you figuring it out?
I'm not, because when you started talking about shots, I started thinking about bad shots, and I was thinking of Markelle Fultz.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. Well, I think I have a sound effect for that. Well, we have an applause. Let's give Mark Haynes Fultz, number 1 pick in 2017. I don't think he's even in the NBA anymore. Do you remember who was the number 2 pick in that draft? This is bad, dude. Like, I'm looking at this list, and it's like, God damn, this was a shitty.
Fultz went 1, number 2. I'm blank.
Warriors did not have a pick this draft. The second pick is also currently not in the NBA. Lonzo Ball. But a pick to the Lakers.
Yeah, to the Lakers.
So the first 2 picks just swings and misses. The first real talent came in number 3 with Jason Tatum, who fell to the Celtics. I mean, Philly and the Lakers, just massive whiffs on that one. Do you remember who the 4th pick was in the draft that year? Because I don't think that dude's in the NBA either today.
So after Tatum.
Picked by the Suns.
No, it wasn't Justin Jackson.
Close.
Josh Jackson.
You got it right. You got it right. Ladies and gentlemen, give the man an applause. That's another one you got correct. Yes, Joshua Jackson. What the hell happened to that dude? I mean, I don't remember a single minute of his game in the NBA. Do you?
I think his last, him and Fultz. I might be wrong about him, but I know, I might be wrong about Fultz too. But their last days they spent some of their last days in Sacramento.
like most guys do. You always somehow end up in sack before it's over. Yeah. And then the number 5 pick was De'Aaron Fox. That's obviously a winner. The number 6 pick is now an unrestricted free agent. He was just dropped by his team. Jonathan Isaac. It was the 6th pick. The 7th pick was pretty good as well. Lauri Markkanen, and not Lauri Markkanen. Let's get that very clear. It ain't Lauri. It's Lauri Markkanen. Where's my drop here? There it is. There you go.
Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry. I'm Mike Lowry.
That's how you pronounce it. Lauri Markkanen was the 7th pick in that year's draft. Number 8. Dude, this guy, I don't even remember him like playing. Selected by the Knicks. Well, let me zoom in here because my vision's good, but it ain't good enough to figure this one out unless I'm zooming in. Frank Ntilikina.
Oh, Ntilikina.
How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Ntilikina.
Ntilikina.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Did he ever play in the NBA? Frank?
Yeah, he played. Was it with Dallas or something like that?
Was he?
Was it Dallas? He played. He was like a defensive guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like a defensive guy, 94 feet type defender or whatever. But yeah, I remember him. I think.
Well, now he's not an NBA guy. I don't know where he is today. Yeah. Not in the league. 9th pick. What's up?
You got to be able to score the ball.
Yes, you do. Ntilikina. Props on pronouncing that because the pronunciation doesn't match the lettering. He came out of France. 9th pick was Dennis Smith. I think it's Dennis Smith Jr., right? Or is it just Dennis Smith?
Yep, Jr.
Picked by the Mavericks. I don't think he's in the NBA anymore. And then rounding out the top 10, Zach Collins, who is still in the NBA, but slowly petering out of it. So just a weak ass top 10, man. That's
where did Malik go in that draft? Malik Monk.
Good question, because he was 11. Just missed out. I'll go through 15. Malik Monk was selected 11th by the Hornets, and I think that right after that was when Michael Jordan kind of smacked him on the head. I think that was his rookie year. In case you folks remember or don't remember that clip, this was when Michael Jordan was the owner of the Hornets, and I don't know why he was down at the court during a timeout, but Malik Monk just got a nice smack in the head by Michael Jordan. That clip's out there if you don't believe me. 12th pick was Luke Kennard. 13th, the Nuggets traded this pick to the Jazz, but 13th was Donovan Mitchell, one of the best picks of the draft. 14 and 15 were Idris Adebayo. Is that Bam?
Yeah, it's Bam.
His first name is really Idris?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. You knew that?
Yeah, I knew that, but I don't know where Bam came from.
I don't know either. But everyone calls him Bam. I even see it on like box scores, but it's actually Idris.
Yeah.
And then Justin Jackson rounds out the top 15. Other picks in that draft who turned out to be pretty good. Jared Allen was selected 22nd. OG Anunoby selected 23rd.
That's a pretty good draft, just out of order.
But usually those are the ones that end up being bad drafts because there's no rhyme or reason to it when guys selected 20, 30, etc. end up being really good. And it's dispersed like that in this draft as well. I mean, look, OG Anunoby fell to 23, right? Kyle Kuzma fell to 27. Derek White was selected 29th. And Josh Hart rounded out the top 30. So you're right. In hindsight, it was a pretty good draft, just not in the top 10, not in the lottery. The lottery was a disaster.
Yeah. That's I bet a lot of those guys lost jobs.
Right, justifiably so. I mean, if you're using your lottery pick on Frank Ntilikina, whatever the hell his name is, or Josh Jackson, Markel Fultz, I mean, yeah, there's you. I don't think you deserve to keep your job. That's just me. I could be wrong on that, but who is it? Big Mike, by the way. Edward Marsh in our chat asking, where is Big Mike? Do you know what that means? I have no clue.
Nah.
Okay. All right. Well, anyways, so Darius Acuff Jr., congratulations, brother. I'm looking at the current Kings roster right now. Zach LaVine is under contract for one more year.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this is a good time. Let me finish going through this, and then I'm going to ask you about Sabonis and DeRozan and whether there's any credence to one tweet by an account that's anonymous that loves to bring up all these trade rumors without any validity. And I think the Twitter account is called NBA Trade Report. That's the one who mentioned this. Domantas Sabonis has 2 more years left.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan, one year left. DeAndre Hunter, 1 year left. Keegan Murray. Oh, he's just starting his contract extension this year. So he's got 5 more years with the Kings. He's not going anywhere. Malik, your cap is going to be empty next year. Are you aware of that?
Oh, yeah. That's why it's been hard for me to really even pay attention to free agency on the Kings' behalf, because it's like, you can't really do anything other than some sign and trade type deals, which I do think the Kings, I think Scott Perry, just in his short tenure here in Sacramento, he showed that, he's going to be aggressive in whatever way he can be. Last year, he drafted Nick Clifford in the first round, didn't have a first-round pick, so he had to trade to get in. So I definitely think it's a possibility of some type of sign and trade, because it's clear that this is going to be Darius Acuff's team. They're building around him. So when you look at DeMar DeRozan, Domantas Sabonis, or Zach LaVine, guys who are established veterans, there's really not – that's basically saying we don't have room for you if we got this new guy who he's going to be the star. He's going to be the person getting all the shots. Y'all have to get in line with him. So I'd imagine all of them want out, and I would imagine the Kings want the same. So I think a sign and trade is going to be possible, because so far Scott Perry has showed he's really, really creative with making moves so far, because he has to be. That's the only thing the Kings can do, is be creative to change this roster.
Yeah, because as I mentioned, Keegan Murray's making a lot this year, but he's locked in through 2031. DeAndre Hunter is making $25 million, but he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. DeMar DeRozan's making $25.7 million, going to be an unrestricted free agent. Zach LaVine making nearly $49 million. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Malik Monk is going to be an unrestricted free agent. He's making $20 million this year. Devin Carter is going to make $5.2 million approximately this season. And then, but the Kings essentially own his rights for the next 2 years after this. I don't know if they have to pay him next year. Nick Clifford is going to make $3.2 million this year, and I think he's on a rookie deal. These players are both on rookie deals. That's what I'm seeing here. Killian Hayes, is he going to come back?
Good question.
Okay.
I know he liked me. He did decent during his time here last year.
You're such a nice guy, Mark. You're so nice. I respect that.
They had all kind of stats that I wasn't aware of about, him having so many assists without turnovers and stuff like that. So, going off that, I think he did well. He didn't get in the way. He didn't create any issues. So last year that was a good season.
I like it. Can I just add something? Because analytics is all the rage these days. And if we have time today, we'll touch on that. I don't know if we will. Certainly on tomorrow's Golden Days, I'm going to get way into that, because Jaylen Brown was just slandered the other day, inadvertently, by Bobby Marks. But Marks, in an interview, bringing up that he heard from some analytics guy on the team that they ranked Jaylen Brown 7th in terms of their board or in terms of their rankings of their roster. That's just absurd. But one thing I want to mention, assist to turnover ratio, one of the most grossly overrated stats. I've heard this stat uttered repeatedly in terms of it being a stat Steve Kerr loves, allegedly. I have, dude, that is a stat that I can give two shits about for the simple reason when you look at the game's all-time greats, most have an awful assist to turnover ratio, Stephen Curry included. It is not a stat that I've ever seen reflects greatness. I think it might be a decent stat if you're trying to cherry pick role players to keep and wave, but the greats will turn the ball over sometimes. The greats won't always have great assist numbers. That is just a weird stat to me. Do you agree, or do you actually find value in assist to turnover ratio?
No, I agree with you. I find the value in when it comes to the role players, and it's fitting. I just got through talking about Killian Hayes, and I'm sure his was a ridiculously high, good rate. But that's all I really care about it for. Like, I don't want my role players turning the ball over. So that's where it matters. But when it's my star, I don't care. Do you? That's what makes me great. Like, I can't tell you how to be as great when it comes to a Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, the list goes on and on. Those guys are what I like to call, and it's funny because I don't even think it's a negative term, but it shouldn't be a negative term, but
Oh, we lost your sound. I can't hear you, Mark. Can you hear me? He's back.
Oh, that was
Did someone call you again?
I got it. That was somebody else.
Someone calling you, the sons of bitches. Sorry, no, your brother is not a son. I'm not counting him. I'm sorry. Forgive me for that. No insinuation there, but yeah, these sons of bitches who are bothering you. They're interrupting the show. I need to let my dog out real fast, so I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to duck out for 10 seconds here. Rounding out the roster real fast, Killian Hayes, you mentioned, who knows if he's going to come back. I can almost guarantee the Kings are going to give Maxime Reynaud an increased role this coming season. He's on a rookie deal. Dylan Cardwell is under contract through 2028, so he's not going anywhere. And then now you add Darius Acuff and their second round pick, who we'll talk about in just a second. But really quickly, as someone who covers the Sacramento Kings, is there any chance, in your opinion, and then I'll be right back, but this gives you a chance to answer a lot of wishful thinking by Warriors fans. Is DeMar DeRozan and or Domantas Sabonis, do you think they're in play for the Golden State Warriors? And that includes whether or not the Warriors have an asset that the Kings would want, right? Because trades are two ways. So I don't even know who the Warriors would offer to get either of these guys. But you mentioned that Scott Perry could move these guys. But my question specifically is, do you see there being a possibility of either DeMar DeRozan and or Domantas Sabonis being traded specifically to the Warriors? Your thoughts?
I don't think there's much to any chance in that happening. I think the Kings are focused on. I think the direction they want to go is younger, and when you think about that, I don't think the Warriors have the assets to, intrigue a trade or even really a conversation with the Kings at that point. Now, there's reports out about DeMar DeRozan could potentially be waived in, I forget when or at what timeline it said or whatever, but it's, he could be waived and become a free agent, down the road if they're not able to trade him.
Interesting.
But I can see maybe that's how he ends up there, if that's even a place he wants to go. But I don't see the Kings making a trade to the Warriors when I'm pretty sure it's the goal is to get younger. The goal is to get younger. And I think they want to get younger. They want to stay big, and I just don't see that, happening in a deal there. Would Sabonis like it? Probably, because I believe he has a house in like Napa or something like that or whatever. But
Really,
yeah. That's what I don't know if everybody talks about it as like kind of a joke thing. They always like, he lives in Napa and da da da. But yeah, I know he spends time down there or whatever. So. He would like it, but I don't think Scott Perry and the Kings are looking to, improve their roster via the Warriors.
That's That I agree. And again, I've yet to see a single credible source indicate that there's any truth to that. I personally would love DeMar DeRozan on the Warriors. I think that would be a fantastic fit. You could play him at the 2, like a lineup with Steph, DeRozan, Yoxel, Foley, and then you have Draymond and let's say Al Horford, or you go small and But I love the idea of DeMar DeRozan on the Warriors. I think that is awesome. 25 million is what he's making. And again, on the Warriors side, if you're going to get, let's say hypothetically, a DeMar DeRozan, you'd have to either trade Moses Moody and someone else to get to within 75% of the contract value of DeRozan. But you'd also have to likely include a draft pick, right? Or would you? Like, are the Kings willing to just like give DeRozan away, or are they expecting some sort of compensation? Because some teams do just give these guys away.
Oh, I think Scott. I think the Kings aren't in a position to just give anything away. Like,
Okay.
I think, especially with the fans. Obviously, I think getting Darius A. Jr. gives the Kings a little flexibility with the fan base, because the fan, like I said, Sacramento is, their emotions are sky high in a positive way right now, and it hasn't been that way in the last 2 seasons. Like when DeMar DeRozan first signed here, it was like a big deal. But now it's like this is different. Like it's like Darius A. Jr. is the future star that Sacramento, the fan base wanted, and that's what they believe, and that's what So with having that, building around and making moves, it's not going to be as bad as like you're the last place, the worst team in the league, and you're giving away assets and blah blah blah. They have their guys. So, but I still, even with that, I still don't think I don't think they're going to be just giving away guys. I think, maybe they're like when you look at Zach LaVine and Sabonis or whatever, maybe they wait some contracts out. I could see that, but I don't see them giving people away.
Yeah. And again, that's all the more reason why I think it's fool's gold that the Warriors fans are chasing if they have any hopes of a DeRozan or Domantas Sabonis. I just don't know how. Like Rich Dub in the chat brings up, well, how about Draymond? And it's like, if the Warriors are going to trade Draymond, I think they're going to aim for a far more lucrative asset than DeMar DeRozan, even if a pick is attached to it. I also don't think the Kings would include a pick to get Draymond Green. Draymond just is not what the Kings are looking for. In my opinion, if Draymond is going to get moved, he's going to a contender, and you're getting back a whole lot more than DeRozan. I could be mistaken on that, but that just represents the complexity of trying to make a move for someone like DeMar DeRozan. If you're the Warriors, who do the Kings draft in the second round? Anything important happen there for your team?
Well, they actually, before they got to the second round, they traded for a late first rounder. And Alex Carabin from UConn or whatever. He's a guy 6'6", 6'7", something like that. A shooter. I think he shot somewhere around 37% for his career in college. I think he's the most winningest player in program history or whatever. But just you can't go wrong with adding shooters, especially late in the first round. That also, if he pans out to be a really good shooter in the NBA, that can be another steal. Like the Kings, they did really, really well in this draft. And I was surprised because I've never seen, like I said, I've never seen a reaction like, the Darius A. one. And I've never seen media react to, like national media react to the Kings draft picks and say, this is the best. They did the best job. This is an A+, draft for them. And the second round was, I think his last name Sharp, Ethan Sharp or whatever. I've been so focused on the 2 first round guys that haven't paid much attention to him or whatever. But I think, and he's like a 6'3" guy who could shoot the ball as well or whatever. But now the Kings are, this is the one time of the year that they're the most winningest team in the league right now, in my opinion. Like nobody has done better outside of play OKC or whatever, just because they got so many picks and they control their destiny or whatever. But the Kings, they did a hell of a job in the draft, and we'll see if anything transpires in free agency, which starts tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And the last time I looked at the news feed, again, what I saw was Miles Bridges traded to the Suns, which means Phoenix is just going to get better. That definitely improves their team, gives them more size. Does nothing but make life more difficult for teams like the Kings and the Warriors. Let's see. Portland news drop from Michael Scotto saying Mike Williams has been added as an assistant coach to the Portland Trailblazers. Side note, the Warriors still don't have a staff under Steve Kerr. We still don't know who the lead assistant is, who any of the assistants are, other than his son, Nick Ellis, and also Chris Weems. I'm almost certain is going to come back as well. But yeah, the Warriors right now, we have no idea what their coach staff is going to look like. Let me ask you this. One thing that we're going to learn by tomorrow, the Atlanta Hawks are going to have to make decisions on the two Warriors that were sent there. Buddy Hield, who's going to be owed nearly $10 million if the Hawks keep him. My guess is they're either trying to trade him and use that salary to match, or they're just going to release him and they have to eat, I think, $3 million, which is not bad. But the really far more bigger name here in terms of intrigue and interest is Jonathan Kuminga, who is going to be owed $25 million. That is a team option. And if the Hawks decide to not pay it, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. They could be negotiating a new extended deal, maybe for less dollars per year. Who knows what's going on there? But Kuminga and the Kings, that has been rumored for years. Like that connection last summer when Kuminga was a restricted free agent. We all saw the reports. Sacramento was one of the teams that want him. When you look at this Kings roster, it makes perfect sense, I think, to pair Kuminga up with Acuff and let that be a core to build on. Would be exciting as all hell, man. I'm kind of rooting for you guys, honestly, to make this happen, just because it would be an entertaining brand of ball. In your opinion, or maybe something that no one else does, coming into the Kings, is there any plausibility?
Like you said, he's been a guy that the Kings have been big on. They've been tied to him. What is it? The last year and a half or 2 years, whatever it's been, feeling like forever. Yeah. But I would bet money that phone calls will be made if he's available. But again, like I said, it would probably have to go into some type of sign and trade, to get it done. And but yeah, that's a real. I don't have any insight to say that that he's a legit target, but I have a gut feeling that he is. I can see that, and I can see I know the Kings just want to be bigger. I know that. So I think size is always going to be something that, they're looking at when they try to make deals, especially this summer. Although they had, they found success in, their 7-footer Maxime Reynaud and Dylan Carwell at 6'10". But this is a big league now. So, and they still full of 6'2", 6'3" guards. So I know they still would like to get big, and getting Jonathan Kuminga would make them bigger. But so I could definitely see, some phone calls, being made as soon as we figure out what's going on with Kuminga.
And we're going to find out tomorrow. That's what's exciting about tomorrow is all these deadlines for player options, team options. Like another one, Draymond Green. We still don't know if he's going to opt into his player option for approximately $27 million, or if him and the Warriors are negotiating a new 2-year deal that maybe gives the Warriors some flexibility. Although I don't know what that flexibility would be, to be honest. They're screwed either way. It's not like if Draymond, instead of $27 million takes $20 million next year. The only thing that would help is the luxury tax and the amount of money ownership pays in penalties. to the league that then gets dispersed to the other 29 teams. It wouldn't benefit them in terms of being able to offer more money to prospective free agents or anything like that. But yeah, dude, tomorrow's a big day. And I'm fascinated because you see a lot of these options going up to the clock. And I don't know if that means that the two sides are negotiating. I don't know if it means the player is just really thinking hard about it, vice versa with the team. Who the hell knows? But these decisions have to be made, and we're going to find out tomorrow. And I am riveted. I am very riveted. It's interesting as well that Sabonis, I do feel like his stock is plummeted in a simple sense that defensively, I think a lot of teams see him as a liability, and he's not like a prolific three-point shooter. And in today's game, if you're a big and you're not elite defensively, and if you can't shoot three-pointers, it suddenly leaves the team wanting more. And I bring that up largely because if, let's say, the Hawks are talking sign and trade with the Kings, I don't think Sabonis is the guy they want. That looks like a team that the goal is to push the ball, be fast. And I don't know if Sabonis fits that. DeRozan, maybe. I also don't know if you consider him to be like a ball stopper, if he's like an ISO guy who maybe slows things down too much offensively. I don't know, but we'll find out. There could also be third teams. Who knows?
And yeah, so like you said, it's good. Like whatever the Kings do, if they do anything, is going to be tricky, or it's going to be something very small, or whatever. Those are the only options they have. And Cyrus, who was the prophet earlier? Who I think his name was King, who was like, can Mark finish the whole episode?
Oh, I brought that up when you disappeared on us. Yeah, it's right here. It was all the way back in the beginning of the show. King Roosevelt, whatever the hell that is. King Roosevelt.
Stay for the whole live.
How much time do you got left? How much juice do you have left?
I'm out of time.
Okay, before we go real quick. Yeah. And again, we've already been going for over an hour. Time just flies when we're doing shows, brother. What are your thoughts on Yoxel to the Warriors? Because some people are kind of like, frowning on it because of his age. I think he's a perfect fit. I also love the fact that I think he's going to challenge Kerr a little bit because, he's someone that doesn't necessarily come off as the subservient type, right? Like the guy that just accepts a role type. Like he wants minutes. He's abrasive. He has confidence. I don't know if he's like a perfect fit for a read and react offense, but I love his game. I love his size. I love his eye for talent. Wink, wink. If you get me there, just something about like just respect to the young man for understanding what the true talent of this world is. And again, that's a very subtle thing. Subtext, I think, is what they call that. But Mark, your thoughts on Yoxel to the Warriors? Because I'm personally happy with it. What do you think?
No, I like it. I like a big guy that can play basketball. Like you said, very confident. That's what I like about this entire draft class. It's full of dudes that it seems like their confidence is like sky high. You got Caleb Williams, who I forgot to mention earlier when we was talking about the top guys or having a chance to win Rookie of the Year. He's my favorite out of all of them. And he made the statement of he want to be the best player to ever play the game. And I love young guys coming in. They're not, I wouldn't call it arrogant. I would say it's straight confidence. It's knowing who they are and who they want to be. And like you said, with Yoxel going to Golden State, that's a place where he has to be that in order to succeed over there. He has to know who he is and who he wants to be in this league, and he has to go out there and do it no matter what challenges he has with Kerr. And I like the fact that he brought up, finish the show. I'm trying. We get there. I'm getting better.
But Mark Haynes, thumbs up for Yoxel, yes?
Yes, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
That's good news. That's good news. I want to hear that thumbs up. Before we go, first of all, King Roz Ovenant, however you pronounce that, saying, finish the show, bro. We're almost there. Some chats I highlighted before we go. John Truma says, ignorance is people who think plus minus equates to analytics. We'll talk about that extensively on Golden Days tomorrow. Do you agree or disagree with that? Because I feel like with this whole analytics debate is largely rooted in individual net rating and how much weight people put on that, when in reality, it is a grossly subjective stat that in no way represents reality. It's a great way for narratives to be formed. It's a great way to try and win an argument. It does not reflect how a player is actually doing when there's 4 other dudes on that court, but people are running away with this individual net rating stat and pretend like it represents objectivity. It does not. I think that's what the root of this is. I could be mistaken on that. Any thoughts before we go?
No, you're right. Because I'll tell you right now, if Steph had me and you as his wingmans on the court, his plus minus would be very low, and it wouldn't be his fault. Yeah. That's how the stat goes. It doesn't have anything to do with you. But if we're out there on the court with him, yeah, there's nothing he can do to stop his plus minus from being good.
Absolutely. Man of Wisdom saying, can the Warriors steal Isaiah Hardenstein from OKC? No. In fact, they actually just renegotiated a new deal, which surprised me a little bit. I was not expecting.
I thought he was gone. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That was borderline shocking. Man of Wisdom adding Lou Dort to the Warriors. I love that. Who the hell knows how realistic that is? James Wilson writing, are the Hornets clearing space for Stephen Curry? They're making odd moves. I don't think so, but who the hell knows? They are making odd moves. It is interesting moves. It is what it is, saying Sabonis for Kuminga and Corey Kispert, and Levine for Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey. Mark Haynes, yay or nay to those trades?
I
would say yes.
I would say
I would.
Yeah. It's a lot to unpack right there, just thinking of like what it all means, but why not? You want to get off of Sabonis, you want to get off of Levine, why not?
And Jordan Poole, I think, is on an expiring deal. So even if you don't like that piece of it, you can get off it in a year. And then Barbara in our chat saying, try to get Norman Powell under 20 million. Yeah, good luck with that. Norman Powell is going to be one of the most desired free agents this offseason. You're going to need a hell of a lot more than 20 million to sign that guy. And that's our show, brother. Again, it's the Closer Sports. I forgot what I said originally at the beginning of today's episode.
Crossover. The I-80 crossover.
Crossovers. Yeah, the Closer Sports. People can follow you at Mark Haynes NBA, regardless of the platform. Next time your brother Chris calls in, you're just going to bring him on instead of answering it. There must be a way for your phone to do that, right? Where you can just immediately answer it and suddenly he's on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure he'd love that, by the way.
We'll figure it out.
I'm sure he'd love it. Like if he's calling you as he's taking a shit or something like that, not expecting like to just be on blast. And he's like on the can, like, oh, I'm on a show.
It would definitely be some random. That's the only time he calls me. It was like some random call, like a real brotherly call.
Mark, I love every time we do this, brother. Thank you as always. We're done. Enjoy the rest of your day. I love the fact that your oldest son right now is in Baja, California, living it up. I hope that wasn't too private of a thing. Yeah. But that is bravo to your boy, dude. What is he, 12, 13?
12.
Oh, my God. And he's out there just having a blast in Baja.
Yeah. And the son, still, I'm the only one that I miss him. He doesn't miss me at all. Like,
of course. That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. And the moment he turns 18, he'll fake missing you for favors and money. And that's going to be the relationship for the rest of your life. I'm kidding. I'm exaggerating. It should be all good. All right, brother. This is always a blast. Thank you. And our show is back tomorrow. When are you on next? Anything you want to highlight coming up?
I'll be on tomorrow as well after the press conference.
For Darius Acuff.
Yeah.
All right. Congrats, man. I am happy for you guys. That's I know what it's like to suffer for a long time and then finally get something you want. It's a good feeling, you know?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your Sundays. Mark, love you. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.